Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Arshad Ail. Welcome to webinar number 36 of Lockdown 2020. I know we've got many of our dental colleagues with us, but I know we're being joined with some friends, family, colleagues, golf buddies, football pals of Ashy. So just a couple of words about our Lockdown 2020 for those of you who don't know about it. We've been running an online dental education webinar series for the past 6 weeks. Over this time, we will run 40 webinars, 26 clinical dentistry, and we've also done 14 non-clinical in a range of subjects from running to Star Wars, wine, whiskey, and a range of food topics tonight. And tonight, as I said, it's going to be one of the highlights of Lockdown 2020 when we have a legend in dentistry that is Arshad Ail, and he's going to be sharing with us some of his culinary skills. And I'm so excited about this because I tell you, I love curries. So I'm really looking forward to this tonight. It's all in a good cause. It's all being done to raise money for the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice in Glasgow. There's two things that you might need to remember tonight. You might need to press one of two buttons, okay? If you have any problems with connection, press the red reconnect button. Okay, hopefully that won't happen. But the button that I want you to press tonight is the button that says donate. Okay, so you see it on a big sign somewhere. Please donate and support the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice, and we'll be hearing from the Chief Executive of the Hospice later on. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Ashy.
Thank you, Clive. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all safe and well. I must admit, what Clive has achieved over the last few weeks has been absolutely amazing. The Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice in Glasgow have received great donations from attendees from Lockdown 2020, and we hope you're going to contribute a lot tonight. So please start donating, please. That would be fantastic. As Clive said, I've got to thank some people, please. My golf clubs at Pollock and Loch Lomond, thanks so much for sharing the webinar tonight, and to Celtic Football Club for helping to promote the event. Thanks also to all of my patients and dentists who will be on here tonight, and thanks to friends, family, and colleagues who are all watching. So let's get going. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about our great city of Glasgow. I'm going to talk about immigration into our city. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of curry and then share some of my favourite recipes. So some things that I'd like to say is there's many reasons that you should stay in Glasgow forever. I disappeared for a number of years. I went down south to do specialist training and then was a consultant down south, and I was down for 14 years, and 97 came back to be with my family. So 48 reasons you should stay in Glasgow forever, because this is your view on the way to work. And our practice is very close to the River Clyde on the south side. And we've got beautiful architecture, beautiful lanes, beautiful areas, and they look even better at night time. And unfortunately, they are a bit quiet just now, but God willing, we will be back out there. And we've got an alien spaceship for a science centre, and this is diagonally opposite our clinic, and a view that we see, and also a place where we run quite a number of our dental conferences, and we've done so for many years. And also we've got a great sense of humour. We've not been roaring too much recently, but hopefully again these things will come. And we've got the old firm now. There may be, sorry, I just went. I think that was Clive that probably did that, was it? We've got the old firm now. There's intense rivalry between the clubs, but this usually centres around the 90 minutes or so of the match, and we're really all good friends the rest of the time, as you can see from this very friendly picture. I think it might be on auto. Sorry, the issue here. Clive, can you help there?
Don't know where it's gone. I tell you what, we'll just hold hands as Rangers and Celtic fans together we're united for the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice. So that makes up for the Rangers and Celtic slide.
We are. And thanks to Ali McCoist and Lee Griffiths, Craig Gordon for their support to this event and the hospice tonight. Thanks, boys, very much. So Glasgow, these are some of my favourite pictures of the city going back many years, and many of you will recognise them. This one is particular significance to me because this is Eglinton Toll, and the wonderful city, multicultural, beautiful architecture, both old and new. And it's a city, as you can see from these pictures, with a beautiful countryside. You can see the hills here over to the north, and beautiful views also over to the south of the city. So a bit about Asian immigration. So many Punjabis served in the British Army, and that's something that's not known commonly. And World War II brought many people to Clydeside. There were already Asian students attending universities in Glasgow, mainly in medicine and engineering, and then there was a large increase. Now, the earliest immigrants were from the Punjab, but following independence, most came from similar employment. And by 1986, 2% of the population had Indian or Pakistani roots. And most owned small businesses, particularly single shops, and living in either the West End or the South Side. And we do have a north-south divide in the city, but that's all I'm going to say about it. So my dad left, it was India at the time before partition in 1947, from Mumbai, and came over on a boat. I think it took over 4 weeks with very little in his pocket, an empty suitcase, and worked very hard over the years. And my mother and 3 brothers and sisters at the time joined him in 1955. So we had little shops, and this is me after school, big smile, and heading off to help dad and uncles in the shops. And this is a bit later. Corner shops were really busy at that time. We didn't have big supermarkets, and you can see I had lots of hair at that time. I'm going to say just a little bit about the university and Glasgow Dental Hospital, and then we'll get on to the curries. So very proud of our university in the city. Of course, we've got more than one university. University of Glasgow is the 4th oldest university in the English-speaking world after Oxford, Cambridge and St Andrews. And something to be very proud of, in 2019, we were the first university in the UK to be ranked as 5 stars plus. Some amazing alumni, and you can see Nicola Sturgeon is there. We've got Emily Sandy, James Logie Baird, to name a few. And a very, very active university on the research side. Sorry, going back just there. Yeah, just to say, many curry houses and takeaways are in the West End, and the students do use them an awful lot. Glasgow Dental Hospital and School has been there. Our students have been educated since 1879, and a formal bachelor degree 48. And 2014, excellent, but really looking at complete university guide, first for dentistry in the UK for the 2nd consecutive year. An amazing achievement by my colleagues in the dental school. So let's get into some bits about curries. So we have an incorporation of complex combinations of herbs, spices. They can be wet or dry. They may or may not be spiced with leaves from the curry tree. And the precise selection of spices for each dish is a matter for national, regional, cultural tradition. Might be religious practice and family preference. And certainly some of the recipes we'll share with you are family recipes. Excuse me. So looking at the history, highly spiced meat originated in prehistoric times, and there's archaeological evidence of mortar and pestle to grind spices.
Hi, Ashy. I'm just going to, don't know what's going on with the slides. Give me a reset.
Okay, no problem. Archaeological evidence of mortar and pestle to grind spices.
There we go.
Is that us? Thanking you, sir. So yeah, the price selection, as I said, is very variable, and as I say, the recipes I'm going to talk about family preference. So, first curry appeared in Britain in 1747, and I'm going to say a little bit about that recipe, which is here. And reading this earlier on, it's really very, very much as to how we would be cooking today. And one of the dishes that we will have in the video will be slow cooked chicken. So one 19th century attempt at curry resulted in the invention of Worcester sauce. And of course, in the UK, the curry massively increased in popularity after World War II, when we had more and more Asians here. So the Asian subcontinent is pretty large. It's pretty amazing. Large geographical area, different cultures, different climates, and that often dictates the type of food that they would eat in that area. So we're from Pakistan, beside Faisalabad, cooking dishes mainly in metal dishes. I think there was a wee example. There's a karai there, and a very common way to cook curries. In India, variations throughout the regions, and often vegetarian. And I would say my Indian brothers can cook vegetables much better than certainly I can. So curry houses, the first Indian curry house opened in England in 1810, but curry previously had been served in some coffee houses. Next few curry houses were all Bengali. Immigrants arrived from East Bengal, but Glasgow has more Punjabi restaurants than any other kind, and I'm going to say a bit about a couple of them. The Kohinoor opened in 1964 in Gibson Street, had its 50th anniversary last year, but unfortunately did close last year. And the Sheesh Mahal was opened in the early 60s by Ali Ahmed Aslam, and it was originally on Gibson Street, and we all know him as Mr. Ali. And I'll say a bit more about the birthplace of chicken tikka masala, because there is controversy there, and now it's on Park Road. But this was a figure I got recently. I thought it would have been higher than this, actually. Half of Glasgow's population eat curry at least once a week. And I think sometimes it's on a Sunday morning after the Saturday night leftovers as well. So this is the Kohinoor, and there's the Biggin, Billy Connolly, enjoying his chicken curry there. In the Sheesh Mahal, they did some amazing marketing as well, a superb restaurant. And there's Ali there, and you can see the queue of people waiting to get into the Sheesh. And Ali was really happy that day about that. You can see some of the advertising. He was on the double-decker buses in the years gone past. And we were regulars in the Sheesh Mahal and also the Kohinoor when we were students. And we used to get a 3-course lunch for a couple of bob, and that was it. It was amazing. So chicken tikka masala, there's an explanation that it did originate in Glasgow. We believe it did. And Ali Ahmed invented it. So there's no debate about that in my eyes. The story's there. There's a bus driver came off shift, ordered his chicken curry, too dry. And Ali was having some tomato soup, so he popped in the tomato soup into the curry along with some spices, and that was chicken tikka masala. And it became a favourite. Now, I think we might have to take a vote on this one. Who thinks Lord Sugar's Mr. Ali's twin brother separated at birth? I think he is. What do you think, guys? And there we are from the moon. There's Neil Armstrong looking down as well. So as I say, their marketing was amazing and their food was amazing. And Ali also had the T-shirts made up: eat, sleep, sheesh, repeat. Fantastic. Soft drinks are on me for the drivers. And curry awards have been going for many years, and Glasgow won the awards more than any other city. Last year, 2019, the champion was Ajay Kumar, who opened a lovely restaurant in Merchant City called Swadesh, which specializes in fish and also vegan food. Certainly a lovely place. And this is Akbar's, and this is the type of naan breads that they serve there. And these are fantastic for sharing on the table. Now, Glasgow loves hot curries, and I must admit, I used to like hot curries, very hot curries, but I'm afraid the tummy can't take it anymore. So this is the ranking. On the left column, Glasgow was 1, Liverpool was 5, and then Manchester down to Bristol. And the supermarkets got right into this, and this is from Morrison's, and the top is volcanic vindaloo, and the one below, you can see what it comes with as well. I don't know whether they were still doing this before lockdown, and flaming fiery fowl. And interesting picture here. Indian chefs say that when they prepare this fowl, they've got to wear a gas mask when cooking it. And I won't read the middle bit there, but the last bit, those bold enough to finish it will get a free beer, an honorary certificate, and they go on the File of Fame. And God knows what it's done to their gut as well. Got to say something about teeth. Well, so many colorings and spices. So we're going to get staining of teeth. Temporary crowns, of course, can stain, and it's always interesting. You get a patient back after a few days, they've got their temporary in, and you can tell that there's been some turmeric, some curry there, and you ask them if they enjoyed the curry, and they always, oh, how can you tell? Can you smell it? Erosion as well, direct erosion from pickles and acids in the ingredient. And acid reflux is a major cause of dental erosion. But hey, it saves you from cancer. And some work done in the States looked at capsicum, and they found that in mice, it reduced the risk of bowel cancer. But there's a paragraph here, you won't be able to read it, but what it says is curries can make you fat, and there's no doubt about that. And this is certainly me here, April, May, God knows what June's going to be like. Now I'm going to say a little bit about pataks, and I'm into making things a bit easier for myself. I used to do a lot of cooking when the kids were home, but a lot less now. And these spice pastes come in very handy. Now, pataks, established 57. Now, they grew to supply 75% of curry houses with sauces and pickles and spices. And they also sell a lot of the ready-made meals that you see in the supermarkets. Pickles, they do a fantastic selection. I'm going to show you ones that I enjoy. But at the bottom there, you can see they sold to Associated British Foods for 2007 for 200 million. And Lakshmi came to the UK late 40s, and the story goes with an empty suitcase and £5. So there we are. Now, one thing there is on their website is quite a number of recipes, 20 pages of them. Jamie Oliver's got some of them on there as well, and certainly worth looking at. And this is probably their most common marinade. This is the big pot. And years ago, this is the one I used to get, the catering size. Nowadays, it's the wee small one. But this is definitely their best seller. So what I'm going to do now is just talk about some recipes that have been around the Ali family for quite a long time. This is chicken mince kebabs, and this is my big sister's recipe. You can see I've still got the original recipe written down, covered in stains. So I'm just going to run through the chicken mince burger recipe. Excuse me. So what to do if you want more information about any of these, drop me an email. My email address I'll have at the end. And I've got a special helper who I'll introduce shortly, who will help me answer the questions that I won't be able to answer. So what we've got is chicken mince. Now, I usually do a big batch of these and then freeze them. They're great for snacks or even for a main meal with whatever you like, rice. I'll sometimes have fries. Shouldn't have, but I do. On occasion, fries and minted peas, that sort of thing. So I asked my butcher to mince the chicken. I also ask him to add the onions and the green chilies. Now, you need to be careful if you go to an Asian butcher's and ask them to do this, because they'll take a big handful. And if you say 6, there'll probably be 26 in it. So be very careful. Might be safer to do it at home. Now, you can reduce it, of course, if you want to do less. If you want to do a kilo, just cut down the contents of the spices, etc. Again, going on to the garlic and ginger. Nowadays at home we have frozen garlic and ginger. Makes it much easier, much more convenient. Black onion seeds. Hamida in Cardiff introduced me to these many years ago, and they give a lovely tangy flavour to any food. Some whole black cumin and chili pepper. Again, you need to decide how spicy or otherwise you want them, and you can gauge that. Try it and see how it is. Some turmeric powder, ground coriander, and also fresh coriander, finely chopped. Eggs beaten up. Brown bread through a food processor, and the last 2 bits are things that we've added more recently to flavour it a bit more. So I'm using Kashmiri masala paste, which is hot, as you can see, so not too much of that. And also chapli kebab spice mix. Again, both of these are optional. You don't have to use these. I've got a cracking burger press. Everything mixed up together, and I don't weigh them. Take a big spoonful into the burger press, and then lightly oiled oven tray, 180 degrees, 30 minutes, turning them at 15, and here you go. So I don't know if I fancy this one here. You can see the butcher when he ground up the green chilies. There's a wee bit there, so that's going to be a wee bit hot, and lovely with pita bread, salad, and great snack, but also nice for a quick meal as well. And the guys at Sked do like them. I'm hoping we will get back to this sort of situation again, where we can be close together, and we're working towards that, I'm sure. Now, another thing I'm going to talk about are cookbooks, and Madhur Jaffrey is an amazing woman. She came to the UK when she was 19 years of age to become an actress. And she started getting recipes from her mother from India because she wanted to start cooking her own food here. So I think her mother takes a bit of the praise, a lot of the praise really for certainly her early work. And she's published many cookery books. My favourite one's still this one, 1982. And it's got some amazing recipes, and I think we'll still be able to get that book from now. One other recipe I'm going to talk about is whole leg of lamb, and we do that in special occasions because it takes a bit of time. There's a lot of ingredients there. Again, as I say, I can send this on to you, but we've got onion yogurt. There's the garlic ginger frozen that we're talking about. Different spices, chilies all cut up, and then with the yogurt we're making the sauce, mixing it up, and then with the lamb, creating nice big pouches into it and stuffing it. And before you cook it then, I was going to say you can leave this for 24 hours. People will leave it for 2, 3, 4 days or longer. I'm only allowed to leave it for 24 hours. And then we've got some spices here, which are heated up just before you put it in the oven. And there it is, ready to go in. And we're looking at preheating the oven to 200 degrees. Bake it covered for an hour and a half. Remove the foil and bake it uncovered for 45 minutes. And during this time, you want to baste it 3 or 4 times with the sauce. And then discard the spices and pour the remaining sauces around the leg. Now, some people prefer to give it very high heat for the first 30 minutes to seal everything. Others prefer to slow cook it for 3 or more hours. This is the way we do it, and it tends to work out quite nicely. And having it, you can have it as a traditional roast, or you can have it Asian style with pilau rice, vegetables, etc. And again, this is something that hopefully we'll get back to, big family gatherings. I think that's been hard for all of us during this period. So now I'm going to be introducing you shortly to Munir. I've got to declare something about our relationship. Munir has been a close family friend of my family and Nassim's family for many years. Our parents knew each other from the 40s and 50s and 60s. And Munir regularly came over to Nassim's house for dinner when he was a teenager, when his parents were in Pakistan. So, and he's also married to my niece, Samina. So Munir opened Mother India in '96, and I'm not going to be too biased here, but I know many are aware of their formidable reputation in the restaurant trade. And he's expanded to include a number of restaurants, and then published this book, which in 2014, which has got some fantastic recipes and pictures and stories. So I spoke to Munir just earlier this week, and he was delighted to contribute to this occasion and to the raising of the donations for the charity. So without further ado, we're going to have Munir, and I think this was videoed by Samina, and Aman was also supervising. So he decided to do halibut and spiced cabbage video, and I'm going to pass you back to Clive and disappear for the next few minutes.
Hail, hail, Lee Griffith here. Just want to say a huge thank you to Lockdown 2020 for all the hard work you've been doing. It's been greatly appreciated, and keep donating as much as we can to the Prince and Princess of Wales Trust. It's easy to do. All you need to do is click on the link below and donate as much as you can. Any bit helps, and hopefully lockdown will be finished soon and everybody can go out and start enjoying themselves again. Thank you.
Hi Clive and colleagues, it's Rona from the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice in Glasgow. First of all, I wanted to just say a huge thanks to you for all the fundraising you've been doing for us. Understand it's about 23,000 today, and what we'd really love is over the next 2 days if you could get up to 30,000. It would be fantastic. We really need the funds, just as everyone else does just now, to keep on caring for our patients and families. So stick in there, give as generously as you can.
Hi guys, how you all doing? It's Ali here. Hope you're all very, very well. First of all, what about this weather? It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Isn't it brilliant? To think we're sitting here with sunglasses on, you can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Anyway, just a short message to see all you guys involved in Lockdown 2020. Fantastic. What a job you're doing, raising some great, great money for wonderful, wonderful cause. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And for everybody that's been involved in a webinar and indeed already donated, again, well done. It's really, really greatly appreciated, and it's particularly this special and difficult time. Also, a big, big, massive, massive thank you to everybody involved at the Prince and Princess of Wales. What a job you guys do, the hospice there. What a job you guys do. It's absolutely fantastic. And you stop laughing because I said what a hospice you do instead of what a job you do. Anyway, I'm going to carry on because my son's laughing, right? So I just want to say a big, big thank you to all you guys, because you really, really do. No matter how much he's laughing, you do a fantastic job, and it's greatly appreciated. Now, it's quite easy to donate if you just follow the link, and please, please give as generously as you can. I'll be tuning in how to make a curry tomorrow. Take one look at me. Do I look as though I like a curry? You better believe it. Please donate and give generously. Good luck. Look after yourselves, guys. Stay safe. And again, look after each other.
Hi, Craig Gordon here. Just want to say a massive thank you and well done to everybody at Lockdown 2020 for your amazing fundraising efforts. Let's continue to do that and make sure the most vulnerable in society never walk alone.
Hello, today we're going to make some halibut with spiced cabbage. First thing we're going to do is maybe just roast the spices. We've got some cumin, some fennel, and a wee bit of star anise seed. Okay. Some of this cabbage here. Boiling hot water. Just a wee quick lunch. Get a wee kind of a grind. Break them up a wee bit. And then we'll put a wee bit of oil in it. A tablespoon. Once it's a bit warmer, we'll put in some shallots. Okay, some shallots in there. Give that a couple of minutes. Off the garlic. Chilies, about two chilies should be enough for this. Oil just to make sure that it cooks properly. So a wee bit of butter and a wee bit of tomato. Chili. A bit of cabbage in. You can use any fish for this dish. You just have cod, monkfish, all works really well. And the ginger, just you want to keep the ginger kind of semi-cooked. Put some peas. Just a couple of wee bit of peas in there. A wee bit of chicken stock. There we go. We're looking at about 3 minutes roughly on one side. A wee bit of garlic in there. And maybe I need to change just to get a bit more richness. A couple of tablespoons. Cabbage get ready. Fish is really nice with some bread, flat bread, or some potatoes. We'll go see over it. We'll put this in the oven for 5 minutes or until it's cooked. In the meantime, I will make a flat bread, which is what we call a roti. It's quite easy to make. So it's just really what you call wholemeal flour and water mixed together. Just make it into a nice kind of ball. To the flour. in around till it's round. It doesn't need to be perfectly round, but as long as it's kind of level and the same kind of thinness. So getting darker, let's maybe just flip it over then, and that's that. You can cook it on the flat plate, or else if you've got maybe one of these blower torches. And that's that. You can put that in one of these baskets. Just put some of the cabbage. Some cucumber or pickled cucumber. This one's been pickled with mustard seeds, some ginger, some fenugreek seeds, so maybe a good. Just pick all of that. And there you go. There you go, man. There's your dinner.
Wow, that looked absolutely amazing, and Munir makes it look so easy, so casual, and his food is absolutely amazing. We're fortunate. We sometimes get a call from Munir to say, "I'm trying out something new. Would you like to come and try it?" And of course, you're down there like a shot in normal times. So thanks, Munir. So that was the masterclass. So coming on now, this is my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and mother-in-law was a great cook, and I was moving down to Cardiff in '83. I mentioned earlier I went down south to do specialist training, and I didn't want to be eating out all the time, so I got some cookery lessons before I go. Asian boys, men, traditionally useless at cooking. Everything's done for them. And this is the recipes from 1982. I've still got them there and still refer to them. So the crash course was on chicken, on lamb, and then also variations, because with a lot of Indian cooking, the base, the sauce is very similar, and then you can go in different directions. So you can see down at the in the bottom paragraph, it's written down there. At this point, you can add spinach, and I love, probably my favourite dish is chicken and spinach. I love it to bits. Or down there, you can add potatoes if you want, and water to get a more of a stew type curry. So what I'm going to do now, and Clive is going to play another video for us, and this is myself and Ashy, my daughter-in-law, assisting, and with Naseem directing, and Ian Wilson, my wonderful IT man, doing the filming and the editing. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've now come to the point where we're going to do some cooking, and I'm going to show you a recipe that my mother-in-law gave me back in 1982. At that time I was moving down to Cardiff on my own. Naseem was finishing her teacher training, so I didn't want to have takeaways all the time. So I've been using this recipe now since that time, and I'm going to now share it with you. I have my assistant here, Ashy, who's my daughter-in-law, also a dentist, and she's going to be doing the hard work today. I'm going to be doing the nicer stuff, so let's get cracking. Okay, well, we're ready to look at the ingredients for the curry, and Ashy is going to go over that for us.
So here we have some diced chicken breast, some white onions chopped, some cinnamon, cloves and cardamom, ginger, garlic and green chilies, a can of chopped tomatoes, some corn oil, table salt, whole cumin seeds, ground cumin powder, curry powder, ground coriander, turmeric, ground red chili powder and garam masala.
Okay, so we've now got 6 tablespoons of corn oil. We've heated it up. Now Aisha is going to pass me the garlic, ginger and the chopped green chilies. I'm going to pop these in. Give it a good stir. Now you can see it's browning quite quickly there. Just going to come down the gas. Now we're going to add some cumin seeds. What we have here now, we've added some teaspoon of cumin seeds, and that's now nicely browned as well. So now we're going to get the onions. Give them a good stir, and then we need to let these brown a bit. We might need a little bit more oil here, but let's just see how we do just now. Okay, so keep this under medium gas and keep stirring, and we're going to brown these before the next stage. Okay, so here we are, onions browning quite nicely. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of salt and also the cloves, cardamom and the cinnamon. And carry on browning now. Okay, so here we are, the onions have browned quite nicely. We're now going to add all the spices, and Aisha will tell us what she's adding as we're putting them in and stirring them in.
Okay, so I'm just adding a teaspoon of ground coriander powder. And a teaspoon of ground cumin powder. A teaspoon of curry powder. A teaspoon of garam masala.
Smelling nice.
Two-thirds of a teaspoon of turmeric powder. And half a teaspoon of ground red chili powder.
Okay, so here we are, that's all the spices all mixed in now. It's looking good, and we're ready now to add the chicken. So we need to get this really mixed in nicely now. So we're coating all the chicken with the ingredients in here. Now we're going to let this slow cook. Put the lid on under medium gas. Okay, so we've been slow cooking the chicken now for 20 minutes, and you can see it's beginning to look quite nice. All the chicken is nicely covered with the sauce, so now ready to add the tinned tomatoes. Okay, so again, stir this in nicely now. This is going to make more of a curry sauce now. We can turn the gas up a little bit now. I'm going to leave this for another 15 minutes or so. So here we are now, we're another 15 minutes of slow cooking. Everything's looking really nice. Now we can add some fresh coriander, which is very nice, adds a little bit of nicer flavour, taste to it. And here we are, Aisha's going to pop some on here. And what we're going to do now, Nasim's going to cook some fresh chapatis. Aisha's made some yogurt, and we'll show you all very shortly. Here we are then, ready for our dinner. We've got mother-in-law's slow cooked chicken. Nasim has made some lovely fresh chapatis with our able assistant Ian Wilson. We've got some nice salad, fresh salad cut. We've got some raita, and for those of you who like a wee bit of pickle, the Patax mixed pickle is something that I would recommend. For those of you who don't like it too hot, the brinjal or aubergine pickle is very nice as well. आजा नसीम मेरे सालन ता रोटी पा हुण
आपे पकाए आपे पा लो
Ashy, that was just absolutely awesome. Absolutely fantastic.
Thanks very much. I think the master chef was before me. That's a very simple recipe which goes back generations really, and certainly something I would urge you to try. If I can do it, anyone can do it, and I experiment with it. I think Indian cooking, the recipes are there, but they're not there to be followed precisely. You can alter them, change them, adjust them to your own taste. Now, I don't have any shares in these shops, but just to say that I get most of my groceries and my meat from Strawberry Garden in the south side. And for those of you in the West End, KRK, again, a fantastic shop, been there for years. But there's lots of good Asian shops. Doesn't matter where you are in the country. I'm sure you'll be able to find something good. So this is an amazing man that you see here, and he's got some amazing phrases. And this is one of his: "A curry can change the world." And the world is a difficult place just now. Hopefully we will get out of lockdown soon. I think if Nicola has her way, we might be a bit later than down south, but it will be coming. Stick through it, stay safe, stay well, and as I said, happy to take some questions, happy to take emails and forward on info if you wish. And again, we're the main aim is for donations tonight. Get going, please, with a button. I don't know if Clive can tell us how things are at the end of tonight, but I'm sure if not tonight, he'll update us tomorrow.
Well, Ashy, we've raised almost £700 so far from the start of this presentation. So thank you so much for a stunning culinary masterclass. It really, really was superb. I really appreciate the time that both you and Munir's put in, and also thank you to Lee Griffiths, Craig Gordon, and Super Ali. I'm going to say Super Ali, for his contribution this evening. Please, please, please say a huge thank you to Ashy by clicking on the button and supporting the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice. The button's up there, so vote now. In about 5 minutes, if you go outside your front door, everybody will be joining in the national applause for everybody working in the NHS. I need to start that now because I'm about to jump into another webinar. So we're going to leave you this evening by some applause for everybody working for the NHS. Keep donating. Let's get those donations coming in. Say thanks to Ashy and say thanks to all these NHS guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Stay safe.